So I would like Mr. Shishir Verma and Sasha and Ilam Pirai and Anne, if you could share, and Mr. Rangar. One by one. Whoever is ready, you can unmute and speak. Now observe. See what they are saying. Watch.
Okay. Well, I'm ready to say something. This is Anne.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, it was very interesting to me. I felt like the way the bird is looking at me, it's sort of challenging me, but my response is quite sort of indulgent. It's like it's a child trying to be grown up. So I don't really take this challenge seriously. It's like, oh, really? It's like we're playing a game. And inside, I'm feeling quite expanded, feeling soft and warm.
Quite? Sorry?
Expanded inside.
So can you describe the word expanded?
Expanded, like opening up.
Describe Describe this feeling, opening up.
Getting larger, moving into the world, connecting.
Yes. What would be the exact opposite of this?
Oh, pulling back.
Yes.
Pulling back and withdrawing.
So my only question to you, is this experience familiar to you or not familiar to you?
On a good day.
On a good day, what do you feel?
On a good day where I'm feeling comfortable in myself and connecting with other people.
And on a bad day, what do you feel?
On a bad day, I'm not trusting myself in the world. I don't feel safe in the world.
Yeah, and then what do you do?
Yes. I pull back.
So,
I doubt, and I feel small and contracted.
So that's what I'm trying to illustrate, how easy we could get right into your core pattern just with one picture. What do you feel?
Now?
Yeah, what do you feel about what I just said?
Oh, I love it. I think it's very good, yes. And it's great learning about myself.
Yes. Okay. Mr. Shishir Verma, please go on.
Yeah, good evening and hi to everyone. Well, when I look at this picture, I feel a sense of control, style, a sense of pride which this crow is showing us. And to me, it is seeming like as if there is energy and I'm in control and very healthy and alert. And what I realize is actually these are things which I really sort of dream of. I want to be in control. I want to be energized. I want to be healthy, alert. But somewhere in my mind, I'm not that.
What is the experience of being energized, alert, in control? How does it feel?
Oh, it feels so great for me and something which I sort of really look forward to and I want to. And in control is where really my whole body is and mind is in sync and I'm totally in sort of control about what I'm doing, how I am feeling healthy. That is what comes to my mind.
What would be the exact opposite of this experience?
The exact opposite is that lack of control, little concern about health, not being...
Lack of control, concern. What is the experience of all that inside you?
It's a very unhealthy and as if my body is not completely sort of in one body bag. I am in parts within my body. I don't know.
You are in parts. What do you mean by this?
I'm in parts means I'm not whole and complete.
Forget yourself and describe just this experience. I am not whole, I am in parts. Just this experience.
In parts is it's not a good experience. It's not a healthy feeling. It's not a happy feeling.
When you say in parts, what do you mean? Just by this word.
The opposite of what I said, that everything is in sync for me. Rather than that, when I say I'm in parts, means my body, my mind, my limbs, there are aches and pains, and I'm not completely sort of in control.
Right. Okay. So, Sasha, would you like to go?
Okay. I felt like I couldn't swallow. It felt like my throat was really tight and I couldn't get enough oxygen in. Overall, sort of feeling trapped, feeling lost. And it was kind of like, I felt there was like, when I was trying to breathe in air, it was really cold and sharp. Felt quite scared. Felt like there was a big lump I was trying to swallow in my throat. Then when I took a moment to actually breathe, I could feel my sort of chest sort of really big, lots of space, like I couldn't find the edge of my body, and sort of like wanting to cling to the walls but can't find it.
Right. No, my question is this experience something you're familiar with, or is it new for you?
No, I'm familiar.
Yeah. You feel it in times of crisis or not so much?
Yes, in times of crisis, I feel this feeling. I would say day to day, no, unless I'm really sort of, unless, as you say, unless there's a crisis. But day to day, I don't feel this feeling, no.
Right. Thank you so much. And
Thank you.
Mr. Gurmeet, what is your experience? You're muted. You will to unmute.
Sorry. The moment, good evening, everyone. The moment that picture came before me, as it filled the whole space, it had a menacing look. And the contrast of colors had a sense of authority about it. As if you're driving down the road and you've taken a wrong turn or something and there's a policeman waiting for you in his stark contrasting uniform. I felt like that. And like a questioning thing, what are you doing? So a rush of questions came in my mind. Have I done something wrong? Have I done something wrong? I've been caught. And then when I felt at that point of time, first was a shiver. It just went jolting down from one end to the other. I skipped a heartbeat for a moment. It took my breath sort of held for a moment before I could slowly gather back. Didn't come back to its common level. But there was coldness at the extremities of the limb, as if, I've done something wrong. Or what happened? That's the question that was running. That's the emotion that came with it. That was what I experienced.
Wonderful. And finally, Ilam Pirai.
Hi everyone. Sir, I felt that time
Can you switch on your video also?
yes, sir.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
I felt so lonely, alone, isolated kind of feeling and unfit to the world, and so much sadness and some painful, wounded, separated. It's like I'm not fit to anything, like I felt.
Right. What was the experience of all that within you? This sad, lonely, not fit, alone, whatever. What does it feel inside you?
It's painful.
Yeah. In the body, head, chest, abdomen, hands and feet. What is the experience?
It's like hand and all cold, and I'm feeling pain in epigastric region, some discomfort feeling.
Right. Good. And you are familiar with all these feelings or not so much?
Yeah, it's very familiar, sir.
Very familiar, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's, fine. Thank you all so much. You really did beautifully. So what can we learn from this little experiment that we did? You see, I just showed one picture. You see, one picture I showed. You can see the picture again. And 5 people gave 5 completely different experiences. One was expanded and cringe, one was control and losing control, one was like a policeman was there, one was some lump was in the throat and couldn't, and one was sad, lonely, isolated, forsaken kind of feeling. Isn't it amazing that none of this has to do with this crow at all? And that the crow only stimulates what is the pattern within us and how directly it can take you to that place, cutting off all your story. You know, you don't have to tell about your father, mother, your brother, your partner, your boss, and whole story, just straight to your experience. This is the beauty of the wise process. Misha, can you come in here for a moment and share your thoughts as what happened just now?
Yes, I thought this is pretty striking. It demonstrates
Yes, you have to switch.
something's wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Okay, that's better. Yeah. The examples demonstrate the process or elements of the process, and how you can get into the center of the case and bypass what you don't need, because the story takes time and involves the patient in elaboration. And what you really want to know is the internal experience that the story evokes. So that the story is a distraction and the internal experience is the goal that you're after. And clearly the wise process can get you into the center, and the goal will be revealed.
How did you?
So it's a shortcut.
How did you feel about this little experiment that we just did?
I think that some people find it easier than others, is my first thought.
Yes.
Some people will go straight and deliver what it is that you're after, and other people find it really difficult to get there. And that's because they're used to putting up a defense in order to cope with the world. And actually, men, sorry to make it gender specific, but I do notice this. Men find it rather more difficult than women. It's to do with the perceived need that men have to get on with the world and to control it in some way. And women are more free, well, usually more free to just experience their feelings and experience the feelings in their bodies. And that's really the beauty of it. I think women are more centered in their bodies than men, generally.
Well, you know, Misha, one of the people I have been working with on this wise process, I want to introduce her. Her name is Sarah. Sarah, if you don't mind, can you switch on your video and share your thoughts on what happened in this experience, and also whether in your experience you think that, you know, the males are less amenable to this kind of process as women are. What is your thought? But before that, what can you share about this little experiment that we did?
Hello. Hi, teacher. Yeah. So I have honestly not felt a difference between males and females. It's quite person specific. Yeah, there are certain people who go deeper, and there are certain who take a little more time. But gender specific, I haven't seen.
And what did you feel about our today's experiment with the crow?
I thought it was very interesting. I really felt like even with those who told us something maybe which was not their deepest, just a question here or a question there would have just got them to go in like this. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Sarah. Let us go.
Lovely to see you, Sarah.
Thank you, Misha.
Let's go a little bit further. So like that, let's try this one. This picture, Misha gave it to me. He had clicked it somewhere in India. And I find this picture very, very useful for a wise process. So I would again ask panelists to do exactly the same thing. Get rid of your reasoning, get rid of your logic, interpretation, etc., and see what it does to you. And thank you, Misha, for this amazing picture. And all of you can also do it. Now, you don't have to say that this is tangled and all these things. You have to see how it experiences inside you. What does it do to you? If you are feeling confusion, how does the confusion feel? If you are feeling chaos, how does the chaos feel? If you are feeling suffocated, how does the suffocation feel? Go deeper and deeper into it. Somebody is saying it's a party. I think you're an amazing person. I like that. You will really do well in life when you see this as a party. Thumbs up for you. But experience a party also. If you think it's a party, how does the party feel? Go into your deeper feeling. Yes, go into your deeper feeling. Don't just say this is messy and complicated and all this thing. Go inside. How does it feel within? I will now request the panelists in very short, in 2-3 sentences, to describe their experiences. We'll go in the same order as we did last time.
Okay. I will start. This is Anne.
Yes.
So my response, no, I don't like this. I am very uncomfortable and I'm a bit nervous because it is not safe. Everything could come apart. So I'm feeling tight in my shoulders and in my throat. It's difficult to breathe. I want to go past all that chaos to the blue sky, which is very calm. And that will rescue me and bring me peace.
Very good.
Okay?
Okay. Who was next? Mr. Verma, I think. You're muted, I think. Unmute.
Yeah. So entangled and disorganized, yes, that's the apparent thing. But once I look a little more deeper into it, I see this is where is the energy center, the nerve center. This is where there is a method in the whole madness about this whole thing. And what it helps do to my body is gives me that feeling of energy, as if energy flowing well in my body from top to bottom, and everything sort of in sync and sort of calming me rather than giving me any stress or tension. So it being the nerve center, being the controlling thing, it feels nice to me.
Very nice. So can you observe that you're using almost the same words in the first one and the second one? In sync, energy, control. It's exactly the same words.
Right.
I showed you a crow, I showed you a wire, but your experience is the same.
Yes, you're right, Doctor. Yeah, that's true, sir.
Yes, yes. Okay, Sasha.
So I had this sort of metallic taste in my mouth and almost like my very dry mouth. Again, sort of with my throat feeling very constricted and tight. And then kind of like very intense feeling of almost being like cut in my throat. I can't describe it. And then as I sort of got through the initial shock of it, I started feeling like a very dense, heavy feeling in my chest.
So somewhat similar also to your earlier experience.
Very similar.
And then we had Mr. Rangar, correct? Or Ilampira.
Good mates here.
Yes.
So I felt again as I was bundled up and I'm sinking in deep ocean. I'm looking upward, the skies, the color of the light is fading away. And I was crying for help, but I think nobody could hear me. And but I was going down and down as time was ticking by. I could feel a tick of a second. But I had a little bit of hope that somewhere one knot, if I can open one knot, I'll come out of it. So that was, even though I was sinking and this time was clicking away, I felt there is an hope. I can one knot somewhere, if I open it, I'll come out of this chaos. That was the feeling I had and the hope. Thank you.
Thank you. And Ilam Birai?
Sir, I felt some kind of stuck, blank feeling. Even I can't able to go further. It's kind of a stuck.
You felt stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. How does the stuck feel?
Stuck. It kind of blank, stuck, nothing.
Can you say a little bit more about stuck and blank?
Stuck and blank. Nothing is there. It's so blank.
So we'll stop there. Thank you so much.
Okay.
And go a little bit further. So this is the idea of the wise process. You can see what we can also use is pictures that could give the other side, what we can call as the east pole. So this picture normally will bring very pleasant feelings. But when you go into the pleasant feeling, you can always ask, how is the experience? And from that experience, you can go to the opposite, which will go back to that sensation. So we can use this picture also in the wise process. So what is wise? Wise means witnessing inner song experience. Witnessing means observing from a distance without judgment, without likes and dislikes, and observing the minute details. In Sanskrit, it would be called the Sakshi Bhav. The inner means the whole drama is inside. Look inside, not at the crow, not at the mountain, but what's happening inside you. The song means the pattern, the melody, the sensation inside. And what is that sensation? It's an experience. It is not a thought, not an emotion. It is not an image. It's not an imagination. It is a sensation and energy pattern that is inside you. And wherever you can see our panelists, whichever picture they saw took them back to their own pattern, which is a very, very fixed energetic pattern inside them. So this is wise. And how can you do wise? What are the benefits? The wise process empowers the patient to look inside, acting as a therapeutic tool. Even if you give no medicine, this very awareness can free you, can make you feel better. This process serves as a good bypass from the patient's life story and situation. You can avoid the entire story and go into the experience. It helps to objectively assess the different aspects of the inner pattern by seeing which one is repetitive or synonymous or opposite. It is very useful in patients that are not progressing satisfactorily, where the physician is stuck, because the inner secret will be revealed. And it helps to access the progress of the patient. When taking a long-term follow-up, we can show the same pictures and see how his perception is changing. So it's also a tool to evaluate your treatment. So these are the benefits of wise process. How did I start with it? Misha was asking, what was the aha moment? The aha moment was, I was in Romania. I was walking with a friend of mine, Gentiana, and we were walking in a forest, and I saw this tree which you see on the left. You see? So I clicked a picture because I like taking photographs. By the way, every picture that you have seen except the wire one is taken by me. I only use my own photographs. And I took this picture and I sent it to a friend of mine in India. And then she wrote back to me, very nice. But I was not happy with the word very nice. Being a homeopath, I don't like these words. I said, what is your experience? And then she wrote, she said, there are elephants there below the tree and all these elephants are going to come and kill me. I said, wonderful. So I sent this photograph to another friend and she said something totally different. Then I sent to another man. He said something totally different. I said, wow, now is the aha moment that this picture can stimulate each one's own imagination and experience. Why can't I start using pictures? And then I took the picture of the other tree and I sent it. And I said, what happens here? So here many of them gave the opposite experience of the first tree. But that opposite was exactly the opposite of the other side. So I got both the sides of their experience. This is how the picture-wise process started. As I told you, I had already started working with doodles many years earlier. But now I started to work with pictures. And then I started looking at other wise processes such as wall, mall, posture, clay, free strokes, relationships, keyboard music, doodles, and blabber. So these are all the different wise processes that I started experimenting with as a direct path into the inner pattern of the person. Some of these you will find in this website, www.sampurnamhealing.com. You can see some pictures and some explanation of this. Then I had my first case where I used the wise process. A 29-year-old female diagnosed with aortoarteritis, hypothyroidism, and urticaria. She complained of a pain in the hand. And when I asked her for that description of the pain, she said it is as if there is a magic sand and it falls down. It cannot retain its shape. It cannot hold its form. And then it just goes out of shape. This was a very strange description of a pain in the hand. And then she gave from her life an example where, she went to the store with her husband and she wanted to buy a backless top. And the husband said, no, you cannot do that. It doesn't look decent. And she argued and argued and argued and argued with him. And then finally he said, okay, you buy it. And she said, I don't want it. Because in her mind, she had made up, she's not going to buy it. But she had to argue. So this was her nature. So then I understood that basically her whole idea was whether she can retain her shape or her form or she cannot. This was her whole story. And therefore I was thinking of the remedy alumina. So I showed her this picture of these two swans over here. And when she said, I said, tell me about this. She said the swan in front is scolding the one behind because he doesn't want him to go on the shore. He said, this swan is saying, don't go on the shore, it is dangerous. Don't do it. And this one wants to go on the shore. But she cannot go because the other swan is not letting her go, like the, backless top. And then I said, what is the other swan thinking? She's saying, okay, I will not go, but when the bigger swan disappears, then I will go to the shore. Means this was the conflict of within herself. Should I do what he wants or what I want? I understood this. Then I showed her this picture, which I had identified. And she said, this lady is saying, stop, don't mold me more. Don't give me more shape. And this molding is a very strong symptom of alumina, clay. Alumina is clay, which is molded. So this was my first success using wise to confirm my remedy prescription. That's how I started using it. And then I started working with other pictures. I am showing you some of them, which I recently have identified. You see this one, I started with animals. This one, and then me. And then the sun. See, I went from animals to human to nature, and then something just symbolic. You will be very surprised. This this afternoon, I tried this out with a friend of mine, and she said, listen, this glasses is upside down. And that means you can see the world upside down. And that's so fantastic. That's the way I want to explore the world, to see it upside down. It makes me feel so free and light, etc. Can you imagine what things do to people? Just this glasses is good enough to do all this, bring out your pattern. And then from there, I went to this somewhat, you see, it's a stone formation. Actually, it's an actual stone formation. I found it in a museum. But you can do anything with it. You can imagine anything and create a whole story out of this. In psychoanalysis, they use what is known as a Rorschach ink blot test. That means it's a shape and people can make out anything out of it. It's somewhat similar to this. And then from here, I started going to the abstract. So from animals to human to nature to symbolism and then to abstract. You see? And then, of course, I worked with doodles. And then free stroke. What is free stroke? We did this like this. We would give people paper and their paints, and they had to just without thinking, just create any kind of paint pattern on the paper and then look at it and see what comes up. This is a very powerful process. It takes about 2 hours to do, but it brings out your inner pattern beautifully. Then we do the wall, where we say imagine any wall and then see what happens. Where are you with the wall? What is the color, the height of the wall? What happens with the wall? And each one will have a different wall and a different story and a different experience. Similarly, a posture. That means we say to them, take a particular posture. We show them the posture. I'll show it to you now. I say, take this posture like this. And then start to imagine where you are in space and time. Where are you? In which era? You can be anybody, anywhere, anytime. Imagine the whole story. What is happening here? And then start to experience what happens within you if you are in this story. It's amazing. This thing can bring out amazing, amazing things. I want to work a little bit with movement. So what I'm going to ask is the panelists, you can do something for me. You do something with movement. What you do is take your hands like this and then start to move them fast, alternately. Close your eyes, move fast, move fast, move fast. And as you do it, start to imagine and experience whatever comes in your imagination, whatever comes in your inner experience. What can you imagine? What can you experience in your body, in your imagination? Just see what comes. Keep doing, keep doing, keep doing till your imagination gets fired. Any image that spontaneously comes, don't think, don't take time. Anything that comes spontaneously. And then the experience of it within you. This is also good for your physical exercise. So again, we can start with Anne and tell us what happened.
I have to get my breath back. What came up, I am fighting, but I have power and I'm going to overcome. I'm fierce. And before I didn't think I had any power, but when I do that, I get my power coming up inside me.
Okay. What is the experience of the power inside you? How does it feel?
Well, fierce is what it feels like.
Oh
Like-
my. No.
Yes, watch out. Lucky we're on other continent, right? Safe. Yeah.
Oh my God. I think good we are doing this online. Who else is here? Mr. Verma, I think.
Yeah. Yes, sir. For me, when I close my eyes, that's when it started feeling as if I am part of a big old type of a clock, which has multiple pieces inside. But out there is this piece which is working very efficiently, ensuring that the whole clock is working to efficiency. And slowly, energy arose in me from bottom to top. It leaves me with a good feeling in the end.
Similar thoughts, it is working in sync, all the parts are together and there is energy. Same story, you see. And Sasha?
I felt like I was falling through a very tall sort of forest of trees and the branches were like hitting my face, but I wasn't in pain. It was just sort of like tickling my body.
Yeah.
So I was falling through and the branches were hitting me,
And what's the
basically.
experience inside?
It was like a light feeling, like pins and needles, like a buzzing
Yeah.
in my
Describe
body.
light feeling, buzzing. Describe this a little bit more.
Close together, sort of friction, rubbing, like a warm sensation, like feeling closed, touching.
Good. And Mr. Gurmeet?
So when I closed my eyes, when I kept the motion going, when I closed my eyes, I felt as if I'm a train itself, rushing. And like the scenes just flash by you from the windows on both sides. That was flashing as if my life, perhaps. And I was heavy in the breath in the sense that I wanted more oxygen. As I've been told, you've got a long run to go on and on. So I was gasping. I needed more supply of air to, keep going as the study. And something saying, calm down. You have to go on for long. So just calm down. Calm down. Get a hold of your breath. Slow down on it. Yeah, that's the sensation I got.
And Ilam Pirai?
Sir, I felt some way I want to come out. It's like a full dark something, but some way I'm trying to come out. It's like.
Very good. Very good. So we'll go a little bit forward. So these are the different types of wise processes that I showed you, Once again, we'll go over it. The pictures, the doodles, the free strokes, the wall, the posture, the movement. But all this has to be, this process, if you do it on patients or yourself, you have to have a skill. You have to learn the skill. You cannot do it on your own. I can tell you it's a very, very skillful thing. And that's the reason I wrote the book, to know how to use these processes, what questions to ask, what instructions to give, what are the techniques, etc. And you have to read this book, or you can, I am going to do a course on, there's going to be a course of 8 sessions. This is the website for the course that will start in May. You can just have a look, or I can send it to you on email. It will be a course in German and in English language. You can have a look, and there is a free webinar on the 20th of May. So you can even attend that. And the same address you have to go into. The book is written exactly for this purpose. Every detail is described, how to use it, what are the types of processes, the pictures are there, etc., etc. There's a book of pictures that I use for wise process. It is called Sankaran device. All these are available at onlinehmp.com. You can, for the books and courses, and Sampurnam Healing for the retreat, and all the processes that we actually do with patients in a 5-day retreat. I've been doing this for more than 2 years now. Any questions, any feedback? The email is info@sankaransclinic.com. I welcome all your feedback or questions or any guidance you want. You can write here. This wise process is a part of awareness. Awareness has to come in 4 different aspects: the body awareness, the mind awareness, which is wise process, community awareness, and spiritual awareness. These are the four pillars of our life. So awareness at all levels is very, very important. And awareness at a spiritual level, with music and meditation, we are doing a free webinar on Sunday, the 25th April at 4:30 to 6 p.m. If you want details, sampurnamhealing.com website you will get. And following that, I am doing a 7-day free meditation week from 1st to the 7th May, Indian time, 7 to 7:45 a.m. Again, sampurnamhealing.com website. This is the website where you can get more information. So I'm going to end this session with a little bit of singing. And the singing is also a wise process. It's an experience that you can also experience, and you can write in the chat box what was your experience of the singing. But before I go there, Misha, your final comments are most welcome.
Thank you so much, Rajan. It's been wonderful to walk the path of life, as it were, hand in hand with you. For it's been very many years we've known each other, and I thank you from the depth of my being for all the gifts that you have given, not just me, but all of us. Thank you so much, and for talking us through the wise process with great clarity. I just want to say that you've got to do it. You've got to use it and see how it works, how it reaches to the center, just like you've shown us. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Misha. And again, I want to remind all of you that while it might look a little bit simple on prima facie, it may look simple, but it is a skill that has to be learned, like a homeopathic case taking or etc. So therefore, I urge you to read the book or attend the webinars where we are going to teach step by step the processes. If you try to do it without learning, your chances of success are greatly reduced. And there are good chances that you may lose some of your patients also, because you'll say, what? We went to homeopath and we only showed us some pictures of dogs, cats, donkeys, crows, and that's about it, and forget it. So how to do it, you have to learn. So I'm going to do a little singing for you. And this is also an experiment. And I will greatly value your feedback on the chat box. What you experience with this singing, it's only going to last for 5 minutes. You can write your experience right now, what you're experiencing after listening the music on the chat box. It will be very helpful. What is your inner experience? Very nice. Many of you experience quiet, calm, space. Thoughts are going down, slowing down, peaceful. Very nice. So this is my next webinar, music and meditation, which we will discuss on the 25th of April. What does music have to do with meditation? I've been doing some research on this subject, which I will share with you. And yeah, at that time. So thank you, Misha. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, everybody who has organized this. Thank you, my panelists, for so boldly volunteering to come on and talk about your experience. And thank you, wonderful people who have listened in. And may all of us find ourselves, our pattern. May we find our silence. May we find our peace. May we find our true self, who we really are, which is not this body-mind, not this pattern, not this other song, but the universal energy, consciousness, completeness, and love also. May we find this, which is deep within our own self. We don't have to go looking for it. It's right there in the moment. Your final words of blessings, Misha, before we stop.
I'm sorry, that took me a while to do.
Okay now. You're okay.
Yeah. And it's so that stillness that is within, the still point. Absolutely, that is the true north to steer towards. It's within you and outside of you at the same time. It's absolutely full of everything and empty, and it's a nothing and a fullness. It's words don't describe it, of course, because it has no words. It's peaceful, yeah, but that's a word. It is everything and it is nothing, and it's the place to guide towards, and from it comes all it is awareness, and it is love, and it's the healing of the tumultuous mess up that is the lives that we lead. And even if the lives that we lead don't seem like tumultuous mess up, there's actually a lot of irrelevancy in there, and it clears all of that away. I open myself to it. I pray that you open yourselves to it and feel big instead of small, enabled instead of disabled, and wonderfully present all the time. Thank you.
So goodbye, everybody, and all good wishes from Misha and me.
Absolutely. All very best wishes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.